All right, welcome back. Past 2 weeks have been kind of not filmed. I haven't really done a whole lot. Anyways, we haven't went and gotten any cars. We did go a few days ago and get the rest of the parts from the last parts haul we pulled in. But it wasn't anything. It was just two charger doors, an Omni door, and an Omni rear taillight panel. But that's an OS, and I have a vision for that. So anyways, wasn't even worth documenting any of that, because honestly, I way overpaid for all that stuff, but it is what it is. So I have been working a few nights. We've been kind of busy with personal stuff, just, winter's coming and trying to get some things done in preparation for that. But I had a couple of nights where I had a few hours to work out here, and I did get a few things done. I'm going to show you what I got done as far as that goes. And then today's, like I said, is Sunday. It's my off day from work. I haven't determined how much I'm going to work today, how much stuff I'm going to do today, because honestly, it's kind of nice to have a day where you don't really have to do a whole lot, but I don't get those days too often. But I cleaned up our Halloween decorations. Halloween is over. Today's the 2nd of November. I had originally was going to leave the car, sit there and decorate it for Christmas. But that's another month away, and I don't want nobody complaining about a car sitting in the middle of the yard. So I moved it. Not a big deal. But anyways, so we got the fender back on the Dakota, and we got the door back on the Dakota. I got everything pretty much bolted in. None of it's like tightened down yet. I want to make sure the body lines and all of that are good. I'm gonna have my buddy come over and help me do that. I don't know if I've said it yet or not, but I got these upper fuel lines replaced. I still got the lowers to do. The new belts are on. All of this stuff that mounts to the inner fender here is back in. And we'll get the headlight trim put back in once we get these, get the fender secured fully. I got the wiper linkage out. It was one of the plastic bushings was broke, so it's out. I got to finish it and get it back together and get it back in. That's if you've never done wiper bushings on one of these vehicles, any of these Chrysler products, and I don't know if other manufacturers used similar designs or not, because I haven't really dealt with them, but they're kind of a pain in the butt to get back together. So, but I'll get it done. It's just going to take a little time. I'm going to attempt, my plan is to attempt to get this engine, transmission, and all these other parts out of here on Saturday, 6 days from today. Of course, I'm off Saturday, Sundays, and then supposed to go back to work the following Monday, so a week from tomorrow, and then be off Tuesday for, I think it's Veterans Day. But I'm going to take that Monday off, and my plan that is Saturday, get up in the morning and take off and go to do this Michigan trip. And then I'll have Sunday, Monday, and then not all day Tuesday, but half day Tuesday to do the building. My goal is to get the LeBaron and the Shadow and this Dakota convertible all inside the building before winter gets here. Actually, I want to get the LeBaron, the red 88 in there as well. My goal is to get 4 cars in there. I've had 4 cars in there before. It's 18 by 40. Outside dimensions, so probably like 39 and by 17 inside dimension, maybe a little more. I've had 4 cars in there before, but I didn't have all the parts we have here now. I come up with an idea, and I'll go show that later, to get fenders up off the floor. That will help some. And then honestly, I'm probably going to haul some stuff, or give it away or whatever. I don't know yet. But just to get some of this stuff that's been here forever. We've got a almost complete red interior out there that we pulled for somebody. And then after we spent the time and energy to pull it, I don't have the money to buy it. So that's going to leave. Stuff like that. Just get rid of it. So anyways, I'm not going to sit here and complain about it. That's the way it goes. Life goes on. You just keep on moving and grooving. So this is the parts Dakota. This is the blue one that you've seen. Engine is out, sitting over there. It's going to scrap. We're going to pull the oil pan off of it. We already got the front timing cover off, the throttle body off. Little bits and pieces that we can utilize for spares. And then here's the transmission and transfer case. Notice it's on top, not on the bottom. So what I did was I was able to get this out, and then I sat this on the upper cross member here and unbolted it from the engine, and it literally just laid right there. So that's a good spot for that for now. But the problem I have is today, if I do decide to do this, I'm going to come back into here, probably in front of this cross member. I don't know. I got to determine that, but either in front of or behind that cross member, and cut this section out. This truck needs to be cut up into pieces, and then I got to find another junk van or SUV or something that has interior capacity to start throwing this stuff in. This entire cab will be cut up into sections, so it'll probably be like the firewall, and then I'll split the floors and then the back part, and I may end up splitting all of that. I don't know yet. Time will tell. But then, of course, the windshield, upper windshield A-pillar and all of that. The windshield is, I haven't decided if I'm going to pull it, because the one in the black truck is cracked. This one doesn't have any cracks, but it's an old windshield. I don't know yet. And then I got to store it, so we'll figure that out when we get there. I got to get the top frame off yet. Of course, the bed is already unbolted. It wasn't bolted when we picked up the truck. We found that out later. So that literally can just be picked up and moved out. But I can't do that until this is gone. So the plan is to, like I said, cut the frame, cut up the cab, cut the frame back here, sit the bed out of the way, cut the rear axle out, and then that's ready to go. This can all disappear. So I'm hoping within the next week or so I can have this gone. Like I said, it would help tremendously if I can find a junk van, a caravan. I don't care what kind of van, any minivan or whatever would be perfect, so I can throw all this junk in it and fill it up. And I'm just going to haul it over the scale. I'm not going to pull anything off of the darn thing. Just need something to get rid of this scrap metal. It's either that or I'm going to give it to somebody and have him come and haul it. I don't know. We'll figure that out. So for now, I think I'm going to get the Sawzall out, and I think I'm going to start cutting this. And yeah, that will fall, which is fine. It's not a big deal. The front axle is dismounted. I'll slide it out of the way so that this all has room to kind of land. And then we'll go from there. All right, today's Monday. And I'm going to show you what we got done. Got the front frame rail cut. So from here forward is all just sitting here on the floor. I still got to get the transmission and stuff out of here once I figure out where I'm going to put it. But in the meanwhile, we're going to go ahead and pull the windshield, at least make an attempt to pull the windshield. Hopefully it doesn't crack. If it does, so be it. It is what it is. We got the heater box out, and pretty much the interior is done. It's completely gutted. Dash has been gone. The heater box is out. All the pedals are gone. All the cables. I got the accelerator cable and the wiring way over there. But otherwise, the interior is all gutted. Got everything. All the junk scrap that was in there is in the bed. All the interior that's being picked up is in the bed. I still have some steering columns that I got to get out. And then the carpet. Other than that, I didn't really do a lot yesterday. I only spent a couple hours out here. And then, but tonight I plan on being out here for a while, trying to get as much done as I can get done. My goal would be to get this cab cut down. I'm having a problem with these little pieces of trim. So these are specific to convertible. There's 3 pieces, one on each corner and then one that runs along the back. And they're held in by screws. And this one and the one in the same spot on the other side are giving me fits. So I got to figure that out yet. But we'll get to that later. Right now I'm going to try to get the windshield cut out. And then go ahead and get the A-pillar roof, the windshield framework cut off. And we'll cut it down in here somewhere. So they're ready to go. I may cut it in half yet too. I don't know. We'll see. But and then start cutting. Probably going to come in like here. Maybe. And cut across to get the cowl cut off. And then I'll come down here somewhere and cut across here and across so that the firewall be a section. And then 2 more floor sections. And then the rear of the cab. So we'll see what we can get done. All right, so it's a few hours later, and I actually had a customer come and get a part, so that took a little bit of time. But ran through. None of my batteries were fully charged, but I've ran through 4 batteries. I put one on the charger earlier, the first one that died, and I used it to finish. So here we are. What once was a full cab is now into little bitty pieces. The only problem I have is this body mount is still surprisingly attached to the frame. This one had come loose and the front 2 are already loose. So the cab was junk anyway, so there wasn't no really reason to even try to preserve it. So gonna get it finished, cut up, hoping to sell the bed. If not, like I've said before, I think I'm gonna take the bed out to my buddy's house, his parents' house, and put it out there in hopes to find a buyer. So for now, I'm gonna try to get that body mount, cab mount loose, or off, or cut, or whatever. I don't know yet. I haven't gotten that far. And then the cab is officially done. Next step won't be tonight because I'm about to call it a night. The next step will be to move my jack stands from underneath the rear axle. Probably move them more forward somewhere. They're only so tall, and the rear frame goes up pretty high, and I don't really think my stands are designed to be that high. Move the jack stands, and then cut the rear axle out from underneath this, and then all that's left is the picking the bed up, carrying it out the door, and then chunking the frame down. Probably 4 more cuts on the frame, and then it's chunked down enough that it should be okay. I am looking for a cheap junk van. I don't care what kind. The plan is to back the van on the trailer up to the garage here and take all this and chuck it in that van, including the V6 engine. It's going to go in the van. These wheels and tires, whatnot, it's all going to go in the van. And I'm basically going to fill up some kind of van whenever I find one. So just to get rid of this stuff, just be easier that way. Just fill up a van and haul it over the scale and move on to the next one. So that's what we got done today. Got some work done. Windshield, I did get the windshield out without breaking it. It's out in the building now. I marked it Dakota, so I know what it is. Like I said, the plan is to put that windshield in our other convertible. And that's about it. So worked for a few hours tonight. Been out here since about 3:30. It's just now 6. Like I said, I had somebody come, so a couple 2.5 hours, give or take. They were only here for about a half hour, give or take. And yeah, so let's get ready to go finish this one and come back at it again tomorrow, hopefully. All right, it's Tuesday night now. Been hard at it again. Got quite a bit done. So last night I worked on this. I'll show you what I did, some of what I got done last night. So the rear axle is out. It's laying on the ground, kind of. It's on a jack, so it's not even, but it is off. But then you might have noticed there is nothing else out the front. So the entire cab, the entire front section of the frame, the suspension, the engine, everything is now outside. It's not ideal, but I can now walk through here and can finish this up. And hopefully the next step is to get the bed re-emptied and then get this bed up and out and somewhere. I don't know where yet. I haven't gotten that far. So with that being said, it is now time to call it an evening. I've been out here since, 3:30, 3:45. And I don't even know what time it is now. But we got work done. Got to go in and ship some stuff. Grab some dinner, get cleaned up, and probably call it an evening. I'm wore out, and I'm to the point where I can't really go a whole lot farther. until I can get this bed off of this, what's left of this frame. This thing is like very teeter-tottery, and there are 2 jack stands underneath it, but only one is actually touching the frame. The rest of it's just kind of sitting on the, actually I think it's sitting on the rear shocks. I think at least the one rear shock is kind of holding it in place. But I wanted to get this done today because I still need to change oil in the truck. Haven't gotten to that yet. That's hopefully tomorrow, hopefully. I need to get it done before Saturday, because Saturday we got a 9-hour round trip to go see one of our customers. We'll talk more about that later in the week. But I've got to get, he's bought an engine, transmission, and some other parts, and they are currently right here. So I needed to get this cleared out so I can get that rolled up here and get it in the bed of the truck. It's not going to be super terrible. It's just, you know, it's bulky and it is heavy. But we'll get that accomplished later in the week. Probably, I'd like to do it Friday night, but I think it's supposed to rain Friday night. So I'm hoping that if it's not going to rain, then I'll do it Friday. If not, then I will have to load it up Thursday, so it's not so I'm not out in the rain. I can get the truck in here quite a ways, so we got plenty of room now that we got this front section of this Dakota gone. And yeah, I'm hoping that if it does rain, I'm hoping to be able to keep the cargo cover, the bed cover closed on the truck. I think with the head being off the car, or off the engine, it should fit fine. So let's go ship some parts and get cleaned up, get something to eat, call it a night. I'm tired. All right, so it is now Thursday, and we're outside. We're gonna work a little bit, probably not too terribly long, but anyways, for now we're gonna work out here. I've got somebody supposed to be here in about a half hour, give or take, to get the red seats out of the 85 Daytona, the real nice red ones. So hopefully they show up. I haven't heard anything from them today. Last night they did ask if we were still on, so I'm assuming they're coming today. Big planned trip Saturday. I got the truck loaded up last night, and you can see some more room. Obviously you saw this already. We still got to finish this mess. This will get done first of the week. This is a 525. That's a 525. Those two are waiting to go to the scrap. I'm going to strip down what I can off of them and junk the rest because nobody ever wants them. I think that's a 523 or 568. I can't remember. I have to look. But that will not be sold either. It's not going to get scrapped, but it won't be sold. So here's my plan for the weekend. Real quick, before we go and do that, you see we got the engine, bare cylinder head, bare block, the bolts and alternator and whatnot. And then there's the cylinder head off of this engine, a nose, an air dam, a K-member, and then these pieces go to another buddy of mine that lives up that way. We're going to go see him Saturday as well. So, well, I got to get back in the building. These are the seats they're supposed to be coming to get. So hopefully those will be gone here in a little bit. So this building is a disaster. This is not the most ideal building that we could have. Unfortunately, it's the one we can afford and it's what we have. So we have to work with what you got. So I have this idea that we got all these fenders, and there's more up front you can't see from here. Whole bunch of fenders, and I don't want to throw them away, but I've been trying to figure out how to get them up off the ground. And the reason I got to get them up off the ground is because I really want to get 4 cars in here this winter. So as much of this as I can get cleaned up, and as much as this as I can get cleaned up, the better we're going to be. So here's the idea I come up with. This building's got these, you can see one here. They got these braces, and I bought some hooks off of Amazon that it can hook into that brace and then hang a fender on. Obviously it's sticking out right now because I got this quarter panel and a door, but once those are all moved, that fender will should lay right up against the outside of the building. That will create space, floor space, or stuff up high instead of sitting on the ground in the way. It'll hopefully clear some of this up. And then my plan is to line the outside walls like I do on this side. See, I got these hoods, kind of organize them a little bit better. And then all these extra hoods that I have and these quarter panels and doors, line them up on this side on the outside wall so I can get a car like I do now. You can see we got the GLHS over here and that Toyota over here. Those are the Toyotas coming out. The GLHS is probably coming out. Yeah, so the front two cars, the plan will be, it'll either be the LeBaron and the Shadow or the Dakota and the LeBaron, whatever. I'll be able to get them a little bit tighter. So, because they both run, where the GLHS doesn't run, I kind of had to back the trailer in and push it to where it is. So that's how it's a little bit far away from the wall. It's hard to tell right now. But anyways, back and behind here, you see them 2x4s sticking out. I got a whole stack of 2x4s that have been hanging out in this building since we built it. I utilized some in the main garage, but I'm going to build a shelf along that back wall that's high enough, about halfway up, give or take. So these seats, and I got plywood here, I'm going to build a shelf and put plywood on it so that these seats can be sat and lined up along that back wall. That will get them off of, like the GLHS, it's covered with seats currently. Again, I don't want to throw this stuff away. This stuff's hard to sell, but it doesn't cost me anything to keep it. The lumber is free, and it's bought and paid for. So I've got some more here. I've got enough lumber laying around here to build those a shelf along that wall. So the building's 18 feet wide. I'll just build with whatever I have. If the 2x4s are 10 foot wide, then I'll do one at 10 and then one at 6 or whatever. I'll make it work. And then I might actually do kind of what I did here and build another one here to try to get some of this other stuff out of the way. I don't know. There's a lot of work involved in doing that. And I am not a carpenter, so, my cuts won't be straight, but they're going to work. That's what matters. So if I can get what I want to get done, the wife's Shadow, that LeBaron, my LeBaron, and the Dakota convertible will all be in this building for the winter. Unfortunately, that will mean the GLHS has to come out. So the plan is, this runs and moves, move it out of the way. That runs and moves, move it out of the way. Tuck the GLHS back in here, put that Daytona back in front of it, and then the Omni out here, probably over here for the winter, since I can't find a buyer for it. It's unfortunate it's going to have to sit here for another winter, but it is what it is, It makes me crazy to see these other Omnis posted for sale on different groups I belong to that are Omnis posted on, and for the same price, but non-running, and people are going nuts over them. This one runs and moves, and I can't even get the first person to even come look at the darn thing. Well, it is what it is. I'm not going to cry about it. Worst case scenario, they'll get parted too. Yeah. But before I put the 88 convertible in the building, we're going to throw a battery in it and a new steering column in it with a key, because I don't have any keys to the car, and see if we can get it to crank. It's on the fence of whether it's going to get parted or not. If the engine is froze up, probably get parted. And if that's the case, then it's not going to go in that building. It'll just go in the garage, get stripped out, and go on about its way. But as of today, making this video, the plan is to put it in the building for the winter, and come spring, get it out in the garage and try to get it together. So once I get all this moving done, my goal is to get the Toyota in the garage, get it stripped out and gone. There'll be another car out of here. And then get the Horizon in the garage, get the brakes working on it, because I think all it needs is brake lines and just regular maintenance, tune-up stuff. Get it in here, find a set of tires for it. I need a set of 4-lug. Well, I need tires. I don't need rims. It's got, rims on it. I've got rims and whatnot. But get tires put on it and get it driving and see how it drives through the winter. Maybe it'll become a new work car. And then we can get the white LeBaron in, and yeah, projects just keep going on and on. And I can rattle on and on and on, but I'm not going to. So we're going to hang out in the garage until our customer gets here. Hopefully they get here soon. And then we'll just try to reorganize or work on reorganizing and try to make room and get ready for winter. unfortunately, that's coming. All right, so we made it to the state up north, and we are currently here, and we got everything unloaded, and we're getting ready to depart, but we're going to go for a quick run in this Daytona, and then we'll talk about what the story on the Daytona once we get that going. So he's rebuilt the engine. Actually, I think he changed the engine. But these, so remember the Daytona had an engine noise, and this is the crankshaft out of there, and you can see that one there is really messed up. This is one of the pistons that's out of it, and then the bearings. So this thing definitely was making some noise, and it is no longer making noise. But we got all the parts unloaded, and he's gonna go get his keys for Daytona, and we're gonna go for a quick drive, and then we're gonna head to our next destination, which is a friend of mine's house. So we're gonna go see him for a little bit, and then head back home. I'm glad that this car found you.
Yeah, it's been great.
It definitely ended up in the right hands. Somebody likes Volvos, don't they?
Yeah, that guy goes there once in a while. He goes down the road, and that one that's jacked all up in the air.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, this turned out to be a pretty decent little car.
Oh, yeah.
It needed a lot of work, but the body was so solid.
The body was clean. That's why I was so adamant on trying to find it a home. I didn't want to park this one out.
And the interior, actually, like I say, it was lucky that you had that 84, because I got all this interior out of it.
Yep.
Because the carpet was completely shot. I mean,
I remember that, yeah.
The front seats were amazingly in good shape.
The back seat was chewed up, wasn't it? Yeah.
I never was able to find one for that. But I found that guy that I think you mentioned he was in Lapeer or something. And he had a lot of stuff. He was trying to sell, and I said, if you bring them to Grand Rapids at some point, I'll buy the whole lot from you. But he said, no, you come get them. So, which is fine. I mean, I do that with a couple of people I've asked.
You don't know unless you ask.
Yeah, and they were just, I don't blame them. I just
Right.
say, if you want, I'll pay you to come.
Yeah, if you're coming this way.
But he said, no, I'm good. So
I had a guy wanting interior panels from this area, and I messaged him yesterday. I was like, I'm coming to Grand Rapids. Oh, I don't have the money right now. I understand. I just saved him the trip,
Yeah, 'cause that's
4.5 hours. What it took us to get here.
I don't know how this came to be, but it seems like whenever I look on Marketplace, everything almost is in Ohio.
Of course.
Somewhere like
That's how we end up with so many.
there's like there's one on there now. I just saw. Maybe you saw. It's about $1,500. It's an '88. It's a blue one. It's
Yep,
a
I seen that.
T-top car,
Yep.
And it's in Granville, Ohio.
Yep.
And that's about I just Googled it, and I guess that's about an hour, a little more than an hour away from where you are.
I think it's up by Cleveland.
Yeah.
I think.
So it's like, I need another car like I need another home.
Exactly.
But,
Same way here.
You look at them and you're like, oh, I could do something with that. But
Well, I think that one, there's no engine in it, and the floors are rusty. So it's probably on that teeter-totter of whether it's a fixer or a parts car. When you start replacing body panels, floors, that's a job.
yeah,
That's a job that most people aren't willing to do.
that was what was nice about this one. None of that was bad.
Nope, you didn't have to do any of that.
So it's like, if this car had been rusty, I think it would have been
It'd have been a parts car, honestly.
But
Yeah.
somebody had the forethought to, which is, I laugh about the story you're talking about, the guy that dogs you about the 85, the silver one, because that car was actually the inspiration for me to save this car, because so I'm like, even though, and I think there's several parts from that car on this car that I got from you. So I thought, well, if nothing else, I mean, that one, and you got the floor pans and stuff out of that.
I kept those.
So it's like,
so we had a guy come to the house and bought some parts, and he'd been there before, and so he was telling me that guy is always on there dogging me and whatnot. So this guy that came and bought parts, we took a picture together and he posted it on the group. The guy blocked him now. I'm like, that's pretty childish, man. You're supposed to be a grown adult, you know, act like one.
Well, like I said, I mean, that's what you do. I mean,
Yep.
You buy cars, and if you can find them a home, you find them a home. If you can't,
and then they got to move on.
I mean,
Yep.
And you know, there's just not a lot of people doing that.
Nope.
Or they, you know, there's just not a lot of people doing it, but there are some people that really think that they've got
a gold mine.
Yeah, and they're like, you know, they want $200 for a power steering pulley. It's like, well, you're gonna own that power steering pulley.
Exactly.
I'm gonna go down here by the school. I'll show you where I used to live when I was growing up. Then we'll head back to the house. I want to give you enough footage to kind of use.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm grateful that you come up and willing to take a video and stuff.
No, not a problem at all. It's our pleasure.
It's not often they say you can save one and you know, and actually just a lot of YouTube is you'll see a car once and you never see it again.
Never see it again, and this,
like,
you know,
what happened to it? You know, so for me, I just like it whenever there's a video that somebody actually you see with the finished product.
Right.
That house right there.
The green one?
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, tells about 6. My parents lived there.
Really?
Yeah.
So did you go to this school here then?
No, because I was still too young.
Okay.
This is a middle school.
Okay.
So I used to have a summer class here that they did, and this used to just be a grassy median. That wasn't a park.
Gotcha.
They've changed. It's too bad because they just recently changed the whole front end.
Huh.
It used to be just like it was when. So yeah.
So that'd be a short walk to school at least.
Yeah, that would have been.
Especially in your guys' winters up here.
Yeah, we moved. My parents moved in 81.
Okay.
And so there used to, on the other side of that used to be a drive-in theater.
Oh, really?
Where those houses are. That was Plainfield Drive-In.
No
theater.
kidding.
It was a small theater, but it was a drive-in theater, and we used to go there. When my grandparents, I should have told when we drove by. There's that yellow house that's on the corner, and my mother grew up in that house.
Okay.
And so when we would go over there for Thanksgiving, we'd go to that drive-in. It was closed. It was, you know, it had been closed for years, but we'd go in there and walk around, and it was graffitied and stuff. Then they finally did those. They call it Paramount Estates, which, you know, probably Paramount Studios.
Right.
So nothing stays the same.
Nothing stays the same. Everything's always changing. That's for sure.
So much around, and it's too bad because it's like we need another freaking AT&T store, like we need another freaking.
Right.
But that's what they build: AT&T stores, daycare centers, whatever they.
Yep, hospital or those rapid clinics or whatever they're called. I don't remember what they're called. Can't think of it.
Yeah, there's never. I don't know. When you get older, that kind of stuff affects you. When you're young, everything's new, so you don't have anything to base it off. But I never moved his truck out in the street. Of course he did. I'll spare any of the viewers that might hear this my rant about that.
Yeah. Sometimes you just got to deal with what you got to deal with.
Not that that's really good.
Oh, so it's a common block engine. Yep. Okay, so he did change the engine. It's now a 2.5 common block engine. So it's got the better internals and stuff. And of course, he's done, put the original wheels back on it. Got new tires. And he's done some work on the inside. This door is a little sticky still, which is kind of normal. But he's got it to where it's running and driving. And he says he's been driving it just about every day since, you said April? April, and we're now into November, so it's been a good car for him. And we're glad we found it. And we're glad we found Eric. And that this car is living another life. Because as you know, many of these cars we get don't have a chance at a second life. And fortunately, he was able to step up and get the car saved. And this car, the floor pans are just phenomenal on it. Wow, look at there. Nice and clean. Definitely a big change from when you got it.
Oh yeah.
Because it was filthy, dirty, and running like trash. So you got a new radiator in it?
Radiator. Plus I got these are from Turbos Unleashed.
Okay, some Turbos Unleashed parts on it for the turbo lines. The braided lines. Did you get a new booster for it too?
Yep.
Where'd you find that at?
I think I got that off Rock Auto.
Really? They still sell those?
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. I didn't know they still sell them. I got an NOS one at home.
Either that it was I think it was Rock Auto. Either that or eBay.
Somewhere.
I think it was Rock Auto. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it looks good. Definitely looks nice. You got your typical leaves pile back in here.
Quite a few of them.
Yeah, stupid. It's the one downfall about this time of year is the leaves fall out of every tree. And so then you also had an issue with your house.
Yeah.
This poor man. So he sent me some pictures. They got some trees behind their house, and one or two of them fell through the roof of their house, and there was actually tree branches inside their house, and they got it all fixed up. So he was doing that and in the car, and of course working and living life. So this was a project. The house was a project, but everything's back together. So, but that's the car. This is the car that everybody always claims we don't save them. All we do is part them. Well, this is proof that we try our best to find a good home for them. And this one is in a good home. Well, it's Sunday morning. And you may be wondering, why is it so dark in your garage? Because I'm out here to get stuff done. I've got a huge time-consuming project that I need to get done in rearranging the big building. Well, I was sitting there this morning. My wife made some cinnamon rolls, so I was waiting on them to finish, watching television, and all of a sudden, bloop, power went out. There's a power outage in the area. So we're going to be doing everything we can. I don't need light out in the building. I don't have light anyways. But I was going to use my saw to cut up some 2x4s. But now as of right now, as of making this video, now that is out of the question as well. But I'm going to go ahead and get started. I've got a lot to do. Today's going to be a very busy, hectic day. They're calling for 2 to 3 inches of snow tonight. So that'll be awesome. But anyways, I'm going to open this garage door and leave it open so that I can get some natural light in here at least. And then just get busy. Only way it's going to get done is to just do it. So let's do it. Oh, forgot to mention, obviously, we got back from our trip up north. We got back, yesterday evening. Wasn't too terribly late. And you've seen the video parts of that. It was a great experience, great time. Glad we got to make that drive and visit with some old friends. So let's get today done. All right, it's Monday. I worked my butt off all day yesterday. Got quite a bit done. I'll go show you. I got more to do. I didn't get finished. Yesterday was crappy. Oh my God, it was raining pretty much all day. Just a fine. It wasn't like raining, pouring down rain. It was just a fine, misty, and then it'd rain a little harder at times. But then it started doing this crap. Yes, that is freaking snow. Oh, God, I hate winter. I hate everything about it. I hate snow. I hate the cold. I hate the ice. I hate everything. But I took the day off of work to get this done. And I just gotta buckle up and suck it up and do it. I've got a mess. You see, I got parts out here laying outside here. I got parts right here, a couple doors. And of course, that's my junk pile. I need to figure out how I'm going to get rid of all that. I got this canopy thing that needs tore down and redone, and it's full of tires and other parts that need to go into the building. I just don't know if I have space. Too much stuff. So let me show you what I got done inside yesterday. Now keep in mind, this building leaks. This building is not the most ideal at all. I would love to tear it down and start new, build a bigger building, but that's expensive. You're probably talking, I don't know, probably $60,000, $80,000 by the time I'm done. So, for now, while I can, you just work with what you got. And usually it's a lot brighter in here, but because of the snow covering up the clear sections on the roof, it is not as bright in here. But so Toyota Horizon are out. Mower's actually out. It's in the main garage. But I've got, I forgot to buy some last night. Dagnabbit. I bought these metal hooks. You can see the hook. And boy, they just make these little braces, make a nice place to put hang fenders on and gets them up off the floor. And don't laugh at my craftsmanship, because I am not a carpenter. But I threw together out of scab lumber I had, this shelf, and it's attached to the wall. But I got seats on it, and then underneath is a whole bunch of air dams and Shelby Charger front noses and whatnot. I still got to figure out where I'm going to put these. I'm thinking about stripping the 2 header panels down and junking them. The bumper covers for LeBaron, one of those, keep it as a spare for mine. Probably never do anything with it. It'll probably sit here forever. But, you know, I hate to get rid of stuff. So, this section still needs organized. My plan is to put, I got a Shelby Charger hood here. There's other Shelby Charger hoods here. So it's going to move down to here once I get that far. Floor pans, I don't know where I'm going to put them. Probably in between a couple of cars maybe. I don't know yet. And then doors. So I've got, I don't know how many Shelby Charger doors. Probably 5, 6 doors. They're going to stack up right in this area. And then all the ground effects and stuff will stand up in this corner. And then I got to figure out what I'm going to do with all these 2x4s. But I still got a lot of work to do. And I still got all this interior trim. I'm very on the fence about the interior trim. Seems that, you know, it's a part that nobody really needs, I guess. So they may end up leaving. I moved the windshields. You see they were here and here. I moved them over to here and then slid that rack down. They're sitting on boards and concrete, so they're not sitting right on the ground. I did that. And I know it's not the most perfect ideal storage situation, so haters, go ahead and hate. But I need to get the shadow in this general area. And I need to get it back here as far as I can get it back without obviously hitting any of this stuff. But that's going to be a task. I don't know if it's going to succeed. I haven't measured anything out yet. I got to put the LeBaron up here. I wanted to get this car, the GLHS, out. And then the Dakota convertible where it is. And then that red LeBaron convertible here. But then I still got to get the mower. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know. So the LeBaron convertible on the trailer rolls, but it doesn't run. So getting it in here is a task. I should honestly not be that concerned about it and just leave it sit outside and get one of these cars that runs and put it in here. Maybe the Omni or something, you know, then at least there's one less car sitting outside. And I may end up doing that. That may be what I do. We'll see how it goes. Right now, I got to get busy and get a path cleared out so I can start getting the LeBaron and the shadow inside so that those are done for the day at least. And then just keep going. And then get the Dakota bed out of the garage and the rest of that frame cut up and out of there so that I can get the Horizon. See the Horizon over here? That car is going to go in the garage next, so I can start working on it, getting the brake lines and all that buttoned up. And then the little Toyota here is going to go where the Dakota convertible is sitting currently, so I can strip it out, get it gone, and then that space will be reserved for my wife's car. So she's got another couple of weeks. Her car's sitting outside, and then we'll get it inside. But I got to get this stuff brought in. Cars put in here. If I can get the Dakota convertible in here, even if I put it here, I guess, and leave the GLHS in here, there's no point in dragging it out. So if I can get the Dakota convertible in here, it's got obviously a pickup bed. A lot of this stuff can, you know, some of this stuff can sit inside or on top of the hardcover. So anyway, gonna get busy, get some work done. Can't stand around here BSing all day because then nothing gets done. All right, it's midday. I've been going since I recorded the first section of this video and got some things done. See the shadows in the building, LeBaron's in the building, the Dakota's in the building. The GLHS is still in here. I didn't feel like trying to drag it out just to unwinch another car in here. So unfortunately, the 88 LeBaron convertible is going to sit outside for the winter. My plan now is I'm done in here, close this up, air up the tires on the GLH and move it over to here since it's smaller. And then I'm gonna back my trailer in here and roll that LeBaron off in here. And that's where it will sit until spring. So yeah, it's cold and crappy out, but it is what it is. So got the Toyotas in the garage. The Horizon's moved. I got to sneeze. Excuse me. Horizon's moved where it's going to be at for a few weeks until I can get this section of the garage cleared out. Once this is all cleared out, then the Horizon's going to go in there, so I can start working on it. The Toyota's over here. I'm going to strip it down. I backed it in so I can winch it on my trailer forward, and then it's done. So hopefully in the next week or so, I'm all plugged up from this cold. Hopefully in the next week or so, this will be gone, and then the wife's car can start going in here, especially with it, you know, getting colder and obviously already cold enough to snow. So it's crappy, but it is what it is. So let's get this done. Let's finish it up. Call it a day. I'm cold and I'm tired. I'm ready to get in the house and be done, but still got work to do. So let's get her done.